Good evening, folks. How's it going? Welcome to the first episode of our new Exalted campaign here on Radio Free Will, my streaming channel. If you're used to this being Beggar Street, it's because I've rebranded things. Now just using this, I actually went about trying to reclaim my old personal Twitch channel, but it was a giant pain in the ass because of all of the money that I already sank into this account for Streamlabs. So I just rebranded the one that I've been using. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for supporting in any way you see fit. Bless you.
Sorry.
You should be. How dare you perform involuntary human actions? But yeah, we are here to start a brand new Exalted campaign. I have some wonderful players ready to join us on an epic saga of over-the-top anime wuxia mythological action. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And we'll go clockwise around the screen here. So we'll start with Scout.
Okay. I didn't realize the thing was in order based on... Anyway. I'm Scout, also known as Neon Saline. That's neon like the light, saline like the drip. Are we introducing our characters too? Or
not yet. We don't.
Okay.
You know what? I think just with what I have in mind, I think it will be better if we don't introduce characters just yet, because then we can get into like what they look like and sort of present your character as they look to the rest of the characters.
Okay, cool. Who I'm playing is not important.
Although I will say the overlay has spoiled what cast you're playing.
Okay, fair enough.
And Bardic Geek, what about you?
All right, I'm Dylan Baird, also Bardic Geek on most things, and technically the person behind Barely Trying Games, which doesn't really exist yet, but it's working on it. I make tabletop games and play a lot of them and write them.
All right, Aster Hollow, what about you?
I am Cerci. I am a substitute teacher by day and an everything else by night. I do a lot of crafting, and I am trying to get into environmentally sound crafting. And
very cool.
Yeah, I'm Aster Hollow everywhere.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Modern Artifice. What about you?
Hi, I'm Modern Artifice, aka Giuseppe. I sell dice and dice accessories, do some streaming, live plays, and make board and tabletop games.
Awesome. So, without further ado, before we dive all the way into the game, if you are new here, new to my content or anything like that, or if you're new, I know the sign down there says we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. That is a lie. We are actually playing Exalted. If you're not familiar, Exalted is a game published by Onyx Path Publishing that is a high fantasy TTRPG that takes more inspiration from the likes of old world mythology, Greek, and Babylonian, and Aztec, and East Asian, and literally all over the, like, mythology from every part of our world is represented in some capacity in this game, and then mixes that with a good dose of wuxia, anime, Bollywood, and hits frappe to make this wonderful, over-the-top, high fantasy, mythological action adventure game. In it, our heroes play as the titular Exalted, mortals that have been given shards of divinity that have elevated them to the level of demigods. And there is a massive amount of lore for us to potentially get into, but it is less important in this game's case than the story that we are about to tell together. I highly recommend you look into the lore of creation. It's a lot of fun, but for now, we are going to start our game in a manse. Manses are these large temples. Temples, dwellings, cathedrals, buildings of power throughout the world of creation. Usually attuned to one of the celestial incarnate or one of the particular elements. it's hard to tell what this one is attuned to because all we see is the interior. We find ourselves in a massive stonework front, sort of a front an entryway, an entry room, a foyer of sorts. But to call it a foyer feels like short selling it because it is 200 feet across. It is a circular room, 200 feet in diameter. The floor is marble of all sorts of different colors, each displaying, actually, it looks a bit like my backdrop here, with concentric circles, points of, little white points of marble indicating stars and moons. Tall golden columns sort of ring this room, stretching all the way up to the ceiling, which is another probably 100 feet up. This is a massive room. And Cobalt. Well,
Yes.
I should also describe, and on the floor of this room, we see 4 bodies sprawled out. The first one to gain consciousness is Cobalt. Cobalt, you wake up in this room.
All right.
You
So-
see 3 other bodies.
I'm just looking around, checking for wounds, my personal effects, trying to discern exactly what's going on, as I have no recollection of even being brought here.
Right. You have no memory of how you got here or where you are.
They'll immediately start just checking for signs of life on the other individuals.
Okay.
Carefully, blood, anything like that, just to make sure I wasn't the lucky one.
Right. As you go over to check the body nearest to you, you grab their hand to check for a pulse, and as you do, they sit bolt upright. Sova. You come to with a jolt.
Hmm.
And there is a strange person holding your arm. With Cobalt, describe yourself for Sova.
So they're an individual with slightly tanned skin, mid-length silver hair. They have a buff jacket that looks like it's been torn down the middle, almost forming kind of a rugged, weathered duster. And are our effects on us?
What do you mean?
Our items?
Oh yeah. You have basically anything that would make sense for you to have been carrying.
Yeah. And a blue jade devil caster holstered to the side of their left.
And Sova, why don't you go ahead and describe yourself for Cobalt?
Cool. Sova is probably about I want to say 5'6" or 5'7", relatively athletic frame, deep skin tone, hair looks like it was mostly dark at one point, but now currently has like white shot through it in different spots. It's in a braid that goes down to about the middle of their back. The mask is diegetic. They are wearing a mask. So they are dressed like someone who comes from a warmer climate, maybe somewhere like with like more water or something, and they kind of had to adjust to wearing colder things, so it kind of looks kind of thrown together. They also have a buff jacket, humorously enough. but it's probably cut off shorter, so it's actually like worn like almost quite like a literal jacket. And Sopa, upon coming to with Bolt, seeing a person grabbing them, will kind of push back with their foot off the floor to like clear distance and hold. Just to get distance, and we'll just stare at you.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Who the hell are you?
I'm Cobalt Falling Star.
They'll immediately start looking around.
Do you know the other two?
Sova, as you as Cobalt asks this question, you start looking around at the other two bodies on the ground, and as you do, one of them begins to stir. In fact, the one you recognize. Beryl.
Beryl, even though it's... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You come too. Why don't you describe yourself for the group?
While the name is spelled Beryl, Beryl stands as the name's figure implies, stout and sturdy with a smooth bald head, large beard in front of him, and bright clothing over very moisturized, even dewy skin. Wearing loose robes over a fitted buff jacket that is well tailored to accommodate for the fact that he is a burly being. And several dangling pouches in a traveling pack that is slung to one side with pages of a manuscript poking out, and just, waking up. Well, this isn't the first time I've woken up not knowing how I got somewhere, but it is the most recent. Did anybody know what I drank last night?
So we'll go over to Beryl and just like kind of give him the look. He knows this look.
You can't judge me. I rescued you from an island once. Sort of. Okay, you can judge me a little.
And as you're having this bit of banter, Radiant, when the sound of bickering and bantering voices rouses you from unconsciousness. And you see these, as you open your eyes and see these three talking. Why don't you describe yourself as you come to, and what you do as you come to?
You see the only person not wearing a buff jacket. Seemingly.
Somebody had to be different.
Sensational.
I'm special. No. And actually quite ornamental, not ostentatious, but ornamental armor over silken robes. And Radiant Star gives a commanding presence even as they bolt upright, and she immediately pats for her quiver, which she has. It has arrows that have hawk's feathers as their fletching, and her bow, her red bow. And she's like, she pats herself, she has her stuff, she is there, but she looks around, she sees this interaction happening, and she's disappointed because she immediately says, "Where is my crew?" And so, but the mark is also diegetic. It is not just.
Okay, so you have your cast mark is permanently branded on your forehead.
It's not super bright, but it's sort of like her cast mark does. She tries to blend it into her makeup. She does wear kind of, not. She wears her like royal markings on her makeup, but It is at least faintly there. A lot of the time.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
So, like I said, the four of you have no knowledge of where you are or how you got here. As you keep sort of checking out the room, there are staircases leading up to a what's the word I'm looking staircases leading up to mezzanine. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. A twin staircases sort of curving along the walls leading up to a mezzanine at the overlooking this place, and there are doors. There's one grand set of doors at sort of the south end, what you would consider the south end of this room, and then doors to the east and west as well.
I think the first thing Beryl would do is start examining the filigree and the artwork in the inlaid into the marble, and just trying to take in the symbolism and structure of it all.
Sure. You know what? We'll call this first roll of the game. We'll make this. You're trying to figure out some information based on this?
What age it's from, if I recognize anything about because while Beryl is not smart, he thinks fast. So trying to assess, like, do I recognize anything?
Well, then this will be a very interesting roll, because I'm going to have you roll intelligence investigation.
Ooh, a whopping 3. Love it already. And while beginning to assess things, so I got a 0, a 1, and an 8. I think the results of that is 2.
That's 3 successes on 3 dice. A 0 is a 10.
Yeah, but doesn't the 1 take away, or is the 1? Nope. Oh.
No. Yeah, no. You guys are demigods. We want you to succeed in this game.
Fair. And I think beyond that, while looking at everything, Beryl's just going to, in passing, so Sova, it's been a few years. What have you been up to?
Nothing important.
Never is, but it's fun. Can't be important anymore. Trying to, like, codedly speak, because I don't know these other two.
So 3 successes. It's definitely first age. Hard to tell what period of the first age. But it's definitely first age style, and it is really well kept, though. Like, this is the kind, like, it's first age style, but it seems very new. You know, like, it doesn't have that telltale, covering of dust or, several centuries of underuse or neglect that a Manse of this age would typically have in creation.
Interesting. Well, at least it's been well maintained, and gives it a good slap. Architecture's nothing but art that we live in, after all.
What about the rest of you? What do you do in this room? In this
How high up is the mezzanine from us?
Let's see. It's probably 20 feet up.
20 feet up?
Yeah.
Could I jump that? I'm trying to remember how, like, that kind of stuff works.
I mean, I will say probably. If you want to stunt it, you absolutely could.
Okay, so where's one of the pillars?
Yes.
As they're situated. I would like to do... You know how in games they have the whole, if you would like to wall run, do that.
Yeah.
Hey, you ever played Mirror's Edge? That's exactly what I'm thinking of,
Oh, yeah.
actually.
100%.
You know how you have to run, hit the thing, and then jump back to get, like, the momentum to jump up to something, like, behind you?
Yeah.
It is exactly that. So, basically, you'll see Sova kind of look around for a second, and then kind of tilt their head, and then just kind of start backing up, like, aimed at the pillar. If you would like to stop them, now is your time, Barrow.
Beryl knows better than to get in your way.
What do I need to roll?
Well, you're using the environment. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll dexterity plus athletics, and because you're using your environment, you are going to get a 2-point stunt on this, which means you're going to add 2 dice to the roll, and you get an automatic success.
Okay.
That's right, folks. If you're new to Exalted, the cooler you can make things look, the better you are at them.
Okay, so the 2-point stunt automatically gives me a success?
Yes, there's one automatic success, and you're going to add 2 dice to the roll.
Okay. So that's my dex plus athletics is 8, so I'm rolling 10 dice.
Yep. Solid start.
Casual.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
9 successes.
9 successes. You know, as you make this leap, the people watching you are probably thinking, like, there's stairs. You could just take the stairs. When, frankly, this leap was as easy for you as it would have been to take the stairs. You vault up to the mezzanine, no issue.
All right, what am I looking at?
Well, you see, easier perhaps. Another series of doors. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of, there's 4 more doors up here.
4 doors.
Yes. No difference in style. They're all sort of done in this same very, very heavy dark wood. There's probably, let's see if keeping with the sort of color scheme here. It's a very dark, heavy wood that it's either stained purple or it's a unique type of
Purple
wood.
Heart.
It's a bit like purple. Imagine Purple Heart, but as dense as mahogany.
Oh wow. Huh. Do any of the doors look like they have a sign of, like, even a minor sign of use compared to the others?
No.
It's just 4 doors, no windows?
There are windows, but you can't see through them as they are out because they're currently completely covered by curtains.
Lovely.
And they're also the windows are sort of, let's see, it was about 20 feet up to the mezzanine. They're at sort of the sills of the windows start at about like 35 feet from the ground.
Okay.
So it's more to
Alright.
get some of that high light in during the day.
Okay.
But again, completely curtained off right now.
Okay. So we'll go back to the edge of the mezzanine. There are more doors here.
Okay. Do they look like they lead outside? To anywhere? Any sunlight?
No, but there are windows.
Okay. I think with that, like, knowing there's windows.
Yeah, you can see the windows from where you're standing.
Okay.
They're
Are there
part of-
windows at my level?
No. All of the windows are higher up on the wall, starting at about 35 feet up.
Okay. Radiant wants to knowledge that there's windows. Also, they want to look kind of at as much as they can to see how did we get in here. Like,
Well, there's a rather sizable set, a rather massive set of double doors at the southern end of the room that you're in. This main foyer.
okay, yeah, they run there immediately, and they're also looking for like signs of like were we dragged in here? Are there like sword? Is there blood marks, scuffle, like anything, like sign of scuffle, struggle, anything like that? As they're also looking.
Give me perception investigation.
Okay, one moment. My perception is so that's a 3, and am I rolling for anything or just the 3?
So that you're rolling 3 dice total. Perception investigation is 3.
Yes.
So you're gonna
also,
you're gonna roll that many 10-sided dice, and you're gonna count.
Sorry.
And you're no. I am happy to teach people about this game.
Okay.
You are so you're gonna roll. That means you're gonna roll 3d10, and you're gonna count how many dice come up as 7 or higher.
Got you.
Each of those counts as a success. A 10 counts as 2 successes.
Understand. That is, I got 2 9s.
2 9s. That is 2 successes.
Awesome.
You cannot see any form of scuffle, no evidence of any sort of combat happening here.
Okay. Yeah, so I just go straight for the doors, and I guess I try them immediately just to see.
They are locked.
Yeah. I don't know if I would tell, but like, do they seem to be locked from the inside or the outside?
They seem to be locked. There is no mechanism on this side to unlock them.
They are so caught between, do I do the smart thing and immediately try to just decimate this door? But I look at the others and think, is there anything any of you remember right before you woke up here?
Come to think of it, I'd left a pot of stew on.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss that stew.
Rip the stew.
Here's the thing. It's important to note, this copper pot has been boiling stew for me for the last 8 months, and I've just been adding a little bit of water and a little bit of fresh vegetables and a little bit of fresh meat on it, continuously getting that flavor seasoned in. And now I'm going to have to spend at least 3 weeks washing the damn pot from burning it out.
It is the
Radiant actually.
It is the every stew.
They actually do drop their shoulders at that, like, oh.
Forever stew is a real thing and historically important.
Agree.
So, Sova, where in creation were you yesterday?
Can I actually recall anything outside of our possible kidnapping?
You know what? I will let you tell that story.
So we'll kind of call down. I was looking for a ship.
Do I know the one, or
No.
is this just okay? New ship.
New ship, yes.
Interesting. Well, since I don't know everybody in the room, I'm Beryl of the Rising Tide and Bear if we're friends.
I'm Cobalt Falling Star. I hail from the south, near Gem.
New Gem. Haven't been there in ages.
You travel often?
Perpetually.
It's
Well-
a good way to live.
Okay, perpetually, but I'll take a year off now and then. Just, perfecting some recipes, working on my book.
For two reasons. I am General Radiant Star. They're still looking around. I am General Radiant Star. I hail from near Volivat. Good to meet you. Still upset that I can't find my. I can't find. I usually have more of my women with me,
Women?
so.
You have women with you.
Hmm?
How thick is like the mezzanine floor? Could I theoretically hang from it to like yell?
Oh
down?
yeah. Like you can easily hear like, but if you're hanging out on the like everybody can hear everything that's happening in this room. The acoustics are great.
I mean, like if I go over to the edge and like hold on to part of it, can I literally lean over and like hang down? Yeah, you'll see Soba like about from like torso up, just hang from upside down. You said you have women?
Yeah, well, I said my name is General Radiant Star, so I have my troop,
You're retinue.
yes,
I see.
but
Back up.
yeah. Do I remember how specifically I, the general of a wandering, without any of my, do I remember if any of my, of my women were hurt, or how I specifically got dragged away?
Like I said, I'm gonna leave that up to you. Like you
okay.
that's you can even say if you want, you can even say like last I saw them, we were all hearty and healthy, like we were celebrating in a bar or something, or we were in middle of combat, or
Yeah. So that is what is confusing to Radiant then, because it is like they can't wrap their head around how they were separated from their very tight knit squad. And they can't. Yeah.
General, you don't happen to work either with House Vanif or Kathak, do you?
No.
That's good. No reason. I don't owe them any money.
That's a special tool we'll use for later.
That's just coming in here with that Peter Porker energy. I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other
No
reason.
other reason.
That's a special tool. So yeah. Does anyone besides brute forcing it know how to safely open a giant huge door? Otherwise, I am going to brute force this giant huge door.
I could be a bit unrealistic, but have you considered knocking?
Now, this could just be me. Do you knock from the inside, usually?
Usually not.
Well, usually you knock from the side that's, locked.
Fair enough.
I mean, she tries it. She does the
The
haircut and shave or whatever it's called.
it is.
You mean the shave and the haircut on it?
Shaving the haircut, yeah.
Okay.
The non-cop way, even though she is a cop.
You give it that series of knocks, and there is a thoom, thoom on the other side shortly thereafter.
See? Common sense.
So we'll drop back down to the first floor. What did you do?
Are they addressing me or Cobalt?
I think they're asking the room.
The
because
room.
they just heard the dum-dum. I don't think necessarily I heard the knock.
Don't look at me. I was over here.
They were over on the bench.
I'll look at you first.
Quick, how many more John Mulaney references can we make in a single session?
We're on the bench. No.
I didn't do. I knocked, and there was a bigger knock. So.
Need to do to try and see if there's magic or like warning on any of the doors. Specifically the big one, since that's the one I'm like kind of in the range of now.
Sorry, say that again?
What would I need to do to see if there's like magic or a ward on the big door?
Do you have any awareness charms?
I think I do, yes. Hang on. Yes, I have sensory acuity prana.
Ooh.
And
Sensory acuity prana. Anything else in that tree?
surprise anticipation method, but I think that's more for a fight, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. What's Watchman's Infallible I do? Alright, I'm gonna try something funky.
Do it.
I have lock opening touch.
Okay. That is definitely a locked door.
So Sophie will kind of look around and like their shoulders are kind of slumped for a second because how they just popped up, like, what did you do? And they're about to do something stupid, but they kind of rub their hands together and then go up to the door and trying to gauge like where the seam of the door is, they'll put their hands on it and like slide across like they're trying to, like, the way like one would open a pair of curtains. Like, I imagine the ease with which this charm can open a lock when it works.
Okay.
I have no idea what the moat cost is because it says 1 moat or 5 moats, and I'm trying to figure out what the difference is.
Let me look that up real quick.
Thank you.
I know it's in Larceny because I have the very same charm for my character on my Friday night game.
Exactly, Angel Wick. It's the...
Let's see. Lock opening touch. The Exalt may open a mundane lock simply by touching it and paying 5 motes. Alternately, she may challenge a sorceress lock with her picking tools, paying 1 mote to gain double 9s and success automatic successes. This version of the charm guarantees that she successfully picks the lock even if her roll fails. However, a failure constitutes some unwanted occurrence. Perhaps she springs a trap, breaks the lock loudly, and snaps her lockpick, etc. So, I will say this door is sorcerously locked.
Okay.
So it's going to be the 1 mote version.
Okay.
But it's going to give you double 9s on the I'll say on the, call it dexterity larceny. Yeah, double 9s on dex larceny to try to unlock it.
Okay, double 9s. That's another 8 to dice to open it. Two successes.
2 successes. All right. I will say the charm does specify that it will open the door, but a failure implies some sort of unwanted side effect. So it will unlock the door, but as you go in there with your lockpicking tools, you give it a twist, and you definitely hear the lock sort of clack open. But then you feel your tools give a bit, and as you pull them out, they have, like, the ends of them have disintegrated.
Oh, lots of cursing and water tongue. Lots of cursing.
Okay. And you can open the doors if you want.
I'm mad right now. You see them almost throw them, like, across the room and go, wait.
Oh,
Put them in their pocket.
excuse me. I should have asked this question beforehand.
Yeah.
Are they artifact lockpicking tools?
No.
No?
They're
Okay.
normal.
They're just mundane? Yeah, they disintegrate.
Bye.
I don't hear you curse in pirate often. What happened?
And, like, I think that's where we cut this over. We almost threw the disintegrated tools across and just walk this! And holds them up in front of Beryl.
That's... Huh.
It's open. Ugh.
Thank you.
Radiant immediately, even though the door's open now, they super wanna go, like, they're holding their bow. They're like side, holding it, because if they hear a big boom from the other side, they're like, sure, I'll go through, because that's an open door now. But
You're gonna open it?
oh, it's open. I thought you meant like, Okay,
no,
Unlocked,
sorry,
it's not open.
It's
It's
unlocked.
unlocked, not
It's unlocked,
open.
not
I
open.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Before we go any further, I know Sova, and we've been friends for years. Do you two know each other?
No.
Interesting. All right. I don't know what information that was going to give me, but it gives me a lack of one, I guess.
Well, a lack of information is still information, because if we were all connected, then that would mean that we perhaps have a common enemy, or... I mean, we could still perhaps have a common enemy, but...
It's always possible in creation.
Yes. So... But if we don't know each other, all of us, then that's more work for us to figure out, unfortunately. But...
I have a question for the order. Because I used essence, did any of the weird, like, exalted dawn, like, solar cast things happen?
Well, did you spend personal essence or peripheral?
Personal is
Whichever
the
one
safe
doesn't-
kind.
Yeah, I was about to say, whichever one doesn't show the banner.
Personal.
Okay, I used the personal mode.
Yeah, and even then, you actually have to spend 5 motes of peripheral essence before things start showing up.
Okay.
And remember, you can always spend 1 extra mote as an add-on.
Specifically
And then-
to make
It
things
was
not
2.
happen.
I thought it was 2
Is it
for
two?
me.
Two?
Yeah, it's 2 extra motes for night casts to dampen their anima banner.
Okay.
Rough.
Just wanted to make sure that was what I remembered.
So. What's are you still still have things to discuss, or do you want to try to open those doors?
I think we should check the windows first,
Okay.
and then we go through the doors if we can't get out.
All right. So like you said, those windows are 35 feet up. One would imagine that in a highly appointed first age manse like this, that the owner would probably have some kind of winged attendant, whether it's an automaton or a demon or something like that, to open the curtains for them and close them at certain points of the day. None of you are so lucky.
Mm.
And so you are going to have to jump to get up there. Like I said, it's a 35-foot jump. If any of you, or we do have one of Luna's stewards with us that may have a flying form.
I don't know these people. Well, I know one of these people. I can't tell that the other ones are cool. So I'm just going to shrug and pretend I know nothing. Which might be the smartest thing I do tonight.
And I will point out that one of your number does have a Dawn cast mark painted on their forehead.
True, but I don't know why.
Could be just a symbol of my people, which it is.
But yeah, I mean, hey, like there are plenty of goths out there that will paint the upside down cross on their forehead that because they're just being edgelords, you know. It's
carrying a bow like that could easily be a wood dragon.
And I say that with no hate. I love my goth friends.
To be so fair and real, so this character is based off of slightly Filipino culture, and the Dawn cast looks like very similar to the Filipino sun.
Okay.
With the same amount of rays. So I was like, huh, like I was putting it on and I was like, wait, huh. So I was like, oh, it works.
Nice.
She pretends it's just that. If anybody asks. Totally benign and normal and fine. She's just really proud of her culture and nothing else.
But yeah, so if you want to try jumping up there to open them, you can.
Screw it, I'm doing something weird.
Let's go.
Let's go. I've got arrows. Arrows are handles.
Nice.
I
see the vision.
You see the vision. I would like to. I would like to kind of do the like Legolas or like anime thing where it's just and it's just running up it. The physics thing, no. The anime thing, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me Dex Athletics with 2 bonus dice for the stun.
Thank you. Let's see, so that's +1 Dex. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Eight, 7. You said above 7, right?
Yes, 7 and above.
3 successes.
3 successes. Were there any 10s in there?
No.
Okay. Because 10s count as 2 successes.
Yeah.
3 successes. It is. They are successes. I'll let you get up there, and it maybe wasn't quite as effortless as Sova's, crouching tiger just kind of whoo up onto the mezzanine, but you have to try a little bit harder to get up there and wall run it a bit. But you managed to get up there. And open the curtains. You open the curtains, and the windows, these are glass windows. It's not just, porthole covered by nothing.
Okay.
But outside is pitch black.
Huh.
You can see nothing.
Point of order.
Yes.
Pitch black like night or pitch black like darkness?
Pitch black like darkness.
Oh no.
What do you see up there?
Nothing. By which I mean Literally nothing. Like
Oh.
it's and I just close the curtain slowly, like I'm not dealing with that psychologically.
All right, it's been a while since I've gotten so drunk I've woken up in the abyss, but that feels apropos.
I look at you, just like stare down at you, like what the.
Woke up in the abyss is now officially a colloquialism in Exalted for a hangover.
Nice.
You need a mega aspirin.
In this case, Beryl might be in both literally and figuratively. We
Yeah.
don't know.
We don't
He's
know.
an old man.
It's not your
Yeah.
business. Who cares?
Old if he was immortal, anyway. Yep. I know we were just about to open the door, but I'm not as enthusiastic to do so first, unless I'm a little bit more dressed for a fight. So do we want to try the inside doors first?
That seems the best course of action. Gather as much intel as we can before proceeding forward.
Cool.
Well, I guess I can put away the red binder of doom now.
Oh God, no.
Oh no! Oh dear! Oh boy!
It will happen.
You guys were getting really excited about checking out that front door, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's. I guess we're jumping right into combat session 1. All right.
As we spacewalk into whatever.
Well, I mean, something did knock back. Anyway, so where are you headed then?
What is the composition of the 4 doors that I saw?
They're all the same. Like I said, they're the same. That same sort of like very dense, heavy, Purple Heart-ish kind of wood. An iron-like metal sort of holding them together. Yeah. Excuse me.
If anybody finds a chair or a dining table, something that I could hit something with, I'd feel a little more comfortable.
I'll keep an eye out.
There are like small tables and stuff like that. There's a handful of them around. Like there's, I'll say there's a couple of tables by the front door. It looks as though that they were made to be like, leave your things here as you enter my palatial estate. Or maybe they held. I'll say the one on one side is empty. The other one has a rather nice looking pot filled with very dry dirt. Like there was at one point a plant living here.
All right, Sova, you know me better. Should I hit him with a table or hit him with a pot?
I think you would offend your sensibilities eventually to use the pot.
Fair enough. I just walk over and try and snap the table in half in the center and pick up half of it by the legs to swing.
Alrighty. This, my fellow GMs, is why you let your players take a specialty in improvised weapons.
I see.
Oddly enough, that is not my specialty.
Oh, okay.
No, I only had 4 points. It was going to be beast forms, is the one I picked, instead of hit him with a table.
Nice.
The next one I pick is improvised weapons.
Okay.
I'm not an elegant fighter, but I am effective.
So yeah, there are 2 doors down here on the main foyer, and 4 doors up on the mezzanine.
Wait, where's is the second door similar to the first main door?
No, sorry. There's 2. There's the first main double doors, and then there's 2 more doors. Sort of. If we're calling the main door to the south, the other 2 doors are to the east and west.
Okay.
And then the mezzanine is up north, with the stairs leading up to it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? There's a prime spot. That means with the way this is built, there's a prime spot for some big art. Right there on the wall, right above, right below the mezzanine there. Sorry, Vindication in chat. The suggestions of thermodynamics does have a fun ring to it. Let's see. What should what would the art in this Manse be? You know what? There's a painting on the wall there. And the painting depicts it's an image of the unconquered sun. And it's in his sort of, so in a very sort of like typical pose, with sort of flames of radiant sunlight and sunfire sort of emanating from behind him. Mm-hmm. But anyone who's looking at it, would you do me a favor and roll me? Let me think. I think in this case, it would be perception, investigation, unless you have craft artwork, like any sort of artistic craft ability, in which case you can use that instead.
Okay.
What'd you say? Perception what?
Investigation.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't give my
Activity
character
banned.
art, and I'm not going to look at it.
Huh.
All right.
I botched.
Oh no!
I rolled
got
a
5.
success. Yeah,
All right, we got 5 successes. How many did you get, Beryl?
just the one
Just the one.
out of 3 dice.
Radiant, are you rolling for it? Okay.
Yeah, I got 1.
You got 1. Okay. So Beryl and Radiant, you it's a painting of the unconquered sun. It is definitely a fairly common representation of first age art, especially if this Manse belonged to a solar. Sova.
I have a side question.
Yes.
Because I have Watchman's Infallible Eye, which is a reflexive charm,
Okay.
and it's the whole auto detect if there's something going wrong here. Does that give me another roll or a re-roll or something?
Give me just a second, because someone else in this group has Watchman's Infallible Eye. This charm references the greater miracles of a spirit's office, but those powers aren't. No. Watchman's Infallible Eye is to basically to see, like, case the scene,
Okay.
which is more like a crime scene kind of thing, or profile a
Gotcha.
character in it. Angelwick, this painting is on the wall right below the mezzanine, like basically where the 2 stairways lead up. There's a big wall there, and that's where this painting is. But so Sova, with a botch.
Yeah.
A botch gets you a false positive.
Ooh, lovely.
So basically, you see something that isn't there. You see. Let's see. There's something about the way Sol Invictus is standing there. It's almost too much. It's over the top. Like this is probably, like, if you had to guess, this is probably dynast propaganda art, or probably maybe like shogunate era propaganda art against the unconquered sun and the solars. This is the kind of thing that a dynast would paint as, like, look at how horrible this thing is. Like, he thinks he's so great. He thinks he is excellence incarnate, but he is true. He is really just a despicable monster kind of thing.
I get you.
Cobalt, with 5 successes. You're looking at this painting, and then, but something catches your eye about the sunlight behind him. The whorls and patterns in there seem to insinuate something else. There's a notion of danger in there that the unconquered sun seems to be oblivious to. And if you look at some of the patterns in the flames that are, you swear a few of them look like faces. And some of them seem to be in a position to almost attack the unconquered sun.
So, just because it seems relevant, I have an occult specialty of creatures of darkness.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I try and see if these sort of resonate with any of those things, the faces they're painted, like demons, things like that?
Give me intelligence occult.
All right. Let's see here. And so as they're going over it, they're carefully getting closer, looking at the oil, the brush strokes.
Sure.
What part is shadow? What part is meant to be flame? The expressions that they're trying to go through, searching for subtle hints of runes or markings that the artist was purposely and thoughtfully leaving it there like a calling card.
Sure.
As they gently just even, run their hands over it to feel the way the oil's set.
I like the description. Take 2 stunt dice.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, dropped one. Too many dice. All right.
Welcome
That's
to
one, two,
Exalted,
3,
subtitled, too many
a
dice.
10. So I got 4 regular successes, a 10, and then the auto success. So
That's 7 successes.
Yeah, 7.
4 plus 2
7.
plus 1 is 7.
Yeah. So as you're getting closer to this thing, and you're sort of like,
my specialty die.
okay.
8.
8 6. Wow.
All right. 8.
Damn. All right. So, with this in mind, you start looking at this, and even like as you get close, and then you're like, wait a second, and then you back up, to get like a more like big picture view of it, and you see several of the rays of light and sunlight and sort of solar flares. What did I do with the book? There it is. Because what is the name of the thing? There is a you are put in mind of a particular demon that you've encountered in the past, called a Tomescu. And with 8 on the die, also known, I will give you a brief rundown on the Tomescu. Also known as the Clamorous Cloud Arsenal. At the beginning and the end of each day in hell, the Temescu scream with the awful knowledge of their own dooms. One Temescu out of every 100 stays rebelliously silent. A set of 10,000 only only one foresees a glorious end, and its scream is joyous. These Temescu other demons fear. A Temescu appears as a swirl of vapor. When it attacks, long insectoid limbs protrude from its airy haze, each ending in a vicious weapon. Beneath the cloud, a Temescu's true form has a green carapace and dozens upon dozens of dexterous limbs. Though adept at the many arts of combat, the Temescu have no love of violence, for they know their lives will end in pain and suffering, and they wish to enjoy what brief pleasures they can in between their visions of death. Bound or not, a Temescu seeks out small, odd tasks and performs them for no obvious reason, from rearranging garden stones to to saving or taking the life of a peasant child. They do these things to honor the Yozi's incomprehensible wishes and to return some of their master's memory to creation. The Temescu. And the way these flames are sort of pointed, they are very clearly, like, to your perspective, with that in mind, drawn as if to end in some sort of wicked weapon. And this is not just this was painted to ostensibly glory, give glory to the unconquered sun. But if you know what you're looking for, you can see that it is basically painted to paint the unconquered sun as oblivious to the threat behind him.
Well, this does not bode well.
Yeah.
Cobalt says as he's pointing out what he's seeing to the other individuals.
I wouldn't have caught any of that.
It was very subtly crafted by the artist, but someone who did something like this has no love of Sol Invictus. Just gonna look around the room. We cool? Like, just gauging everyone here. Everyone's gonna have to get real cool with some shit real fast.
Just one of those, like, this feels a little ham-handed, as if you're trying to say something really over the top and social. So am I picking up on any cues that are being put down, Will?
Give me a perception socialize.
Oh, God.
What?
All right, let me try. Why is it never wits? Well, I'm just gonna real quick go ahead and just so that.
Oh my god!
Was that 6 successes on 3 dice?
It's
Four success-
one of them's a 6.
Okay, so it's 4 successes.
0,
on
0,
3 dice.
7. Yeah.
So
that's
so then let me ask. Oh, there was a 7 in there too.
There was a 7. So
Okay,
there's 5 successes on
5
7
successes.
or on 4 dice.
So 5 successes. Cobalt, what is your guile?
My guile is, I believe, I should have, did I write this down on the sheet? I did not. That's
Guile's an American pilot who happens to use the sonic
Stop
boom
it.
attack.
Da-da-da-da-da. I wrote it down earlier. One
With the
second.
same tattoo on both arms.
Yes.
Because he switches either way. Yeah.
Guile is manipulation plus socialize plus any specialty you have divided by 2 round up.
Okay. That is a 2. My guile is a 2.
Then yes, Beryl, you pick up exactly what Cobalt is putting down.
So, okay, Beryl's thinking for a couple seconds in rapid succession of the one with the bow shot arrows into a wall and then climbed up them to get to the second floor. And then this one managed to artistically break down a demon's inner workings of a painting while also being like, no one minds the unconquered sun, right? And you see the Legos click together in Carol's brain as he goes, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Okay, we're all cool here.
It took me a minute. It always does, but we're okay. We're okay. Yeah. I'm not one of you, but, and then just, decides like, oh, we're possibly getting into a brawl here. Hybrid beast form it is, because I'd rather be better prepared than not. Just
that's kind of it. Like I kind of love that reaction, because most people, like in most games that I've played in, when you get to that point where you reveal to the rest of the party, like, oh, by the way, I'm an Exalted, you just kind of light your cast mark up, because you can do that for just one mote. Like, and everyone's just like, nope, cast mark, beast form.
Yeah, just no, I'm gonna be a giant, extremely overly muscly with, plenty of comfortable.
With that, why don't you describe your beast form for your hybrid beast form for everybody?
Absolutely. So, the nickname of Bear, Barrel of the Rising Tides, and all the iconic, like, lunars that are werewolves and werebears. You see the most comfortable in his skin cuttlefish that is just ripcords of muscle and sinew with plenty of blubber on top of it. And the beard stays the exact same shape, but just morphs into the 4 standard tentacles of an average cuttlefish face, and just goes, we're all friends here now.
So somewhere at the intersection of Davy Jones and Sexy Squidward.
Exactly, yeah. Uwu Cthulhu meets Sexy Squidward. Yeah. So Beryl finally connected the Legos that, like, oh, you're Exalts. Okay, I don't need to be afraid of, like, comfortable in my own skin. So now it's a 4-mode expenditure, and yeah, I can fight if I need to.
Oh, okay. So this is what we're doing. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I was pretty sure.
Oh. Subtlety's important. But
yeah,
it looks like we're in the abyss, and I'm not afraid of a wild hunt while we're in the abyss. Just a thought.
That's a fair, safe bet.
So,
but it does mean likely we're surrounded by many creatures of darkness out there, if that is the case.
Yeah, I'm more afraid of the abyss itself.
So, with that, what's your next step?
You have a door to the east and a door to the west on the first floor that we have not gone into.
Do they look the same?
They do.
Where are we going, east or west?
I mean, I spent most of my life living in the western side of creation, so...
So
actually, I can't tell west.
You want to go east or you want to go west? Because that could apply both ways.
That was nothing.
Yeah, no, good point.
Like, do we follow the unconquered sun because he falls in the west, or do we go to the east to meet him where he rises?
Well, poetic.
Thank you.
Does anyone have a coin to flip on? I mean, it doesn't really. I throw an arrow in the air, and whichever way it lands, I was
gonna say, like, opening the satchel. Yeah, I got a couple obols in here. 1 second.
All right. So hold on. We got 2. Right.
Ends up just pointing to the south door.
And now for the only time I will ever roll a 6-sided die in Exalted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 6.
Uh-oh.
So that's going to be the die that I rolled for you all. It came out basically second floor farthest to the right.
Okay.
Fate said that way. So,
all right.
Well, if they're all
Seems
the same.
as good a way to go as any. So, you head up through this door. And you step into what appears to be a study. A room. There are bookshelves on one full wall and about half of another. A large desk, very ornate looking desk, very well kept together too, very tidy, not like nothing necessarily scattered all over it or anything like that. A couple of books are sitting on it though. A calligraphy set, pen and ink. And a jade seal. Like
Of what?
well, like stamp seal, not like.
Of what? Like what's the seal?
Roll me intelligence lore if you're gonna look at it.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. Excuse me. So there is a a small jade stamp seal, with a at the top of it is decorated with a tree with a serpentine dragon sort of coiling around it and perched on top of the tree. 3 successes. You would imagine like this. It looks like a representation of Sextus Gillis, who is the elemental dragon of wood.
Can I look at the book? No.
Which book?
You said there was one that was open?
There were a couple that were on the desk, but they're sort of like standing up between a couple of book stands.
Okay. Can I read any of the titles on either of them?
What languages do you speak?
I speak, I guess what would effectively be like trade tongue, and like one of the
oh crap!
one of the languages from the west.
So from the west, that would be Sea Tongue.
I speak Sea Tongue, and then I probably speak a regional dialect that's like my island Sea Tongue.
I'm fluent in High Realm.
Okay.
I'm fluent in Old Realm.
Oh God, do we not have a common language between the 4 of us?
Well, I mean,
Common?
Common doesn't exist in Exalted.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
here's the thing. I took the merit to gain High Realm.
Okay.
And I took the merit
mine
to
is as a
gain
secondary
Old Realm.
language. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So. Sova, you said you speak Sea Tongue and what else?
I think it might just be Sea Tongue. I didn't realize that air quote common, like a common trade tongue, was not like a thing in Exalted.
It does exist, but well, I mean, the closest thing that Exalted has to it is River Speak.
Okay.
I have River Speak and Forest Speak and a third one.
Okay.
I didn't pick a generic language. I just picked the one I gained off of merit. But I have 1 point in linguistics and an intelligence of 2.
So, all right. So this is what I'm going to do, just to keep everything numerically fair for everybody. I will let you take 1 more dot in languages to give you. So just real quick, just so we can have a common language between all of us. Cobalt, what do you speak? Cobalt?
Oh wow,
Giuseppe?
that was.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was like Soval. Yes. Fire Tongue and Old Realm.
Fire Tongue and Old Realm. Radiant, what about you?
Which one is the local to the southeast?
Well, if you're in the southeast, the two most common languages are going to be Flame Tongue and Forest Tongue.
Then I started with Forest Tongue, and I'm also...
And River Speak.
Yeah, I'm still finishing up the languages that I took for my merit, because I forgot, I'm figuring out the regions, but I took 3 for my merit.
Okay. So, generally speaking, the one that's going to be the most common for everybody to know is going to be River Speak. That is a language that is used as sort of a common trade tongue throughout creation, because the guild employs it a lot, and they are the primary source of trade especially throughout the threshold. Any game that I've ever run, generally speaking, we either agree on either Low Realm or River Speak as our common language, because those are probably the two most commoner kind of languages. That said, if you would like to take a point in language to know River Speak, I would recommend it. If you already do Radiant, which sounds like you're the only one, to make up for that, I'll give you 1 extra bonus point to spend on stuff.
So I took the language merit, and then I have two in language. So how many languages do I know? Is my question.
You took the language, so you took 2 dots in the language merit?
I took 3 dots in the language merit, and then I have 2 in the ability.
Oh, linguistics.
Linguistics. Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Linguistics is your ability to use the languages you know. The language merit tells you how many languages you know.
Okay, it's like fluency versus languages I know.
Yeah, like linguistics is like your ability to write a letter that has layered meaning or something like that.
I see. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, I'm going to look at the other languages real quick and tell you, because I was a little confused on, whether or not we knew Common. Apparently, Common's not a thing, so I'll tell you in, half a second.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I started with River Speak as my original tongue then, since that's in my area.
In our defense, this was not in character creation, at least I don't think so. Yeah, it's never explicitly put anywhere in character creation, so it tends to get forgotten. And then until it's too late, until you're in the first thing and saying oh, what language is this thing written in? Oh, right, what languages do you know? And then everyone realizes we have no common language between us. We should not have been able to communicate this whole time.
Retcon.
Yep.
I'll take River Speak on top of High Realm. My bad. Yep. I'd have thought Sea Speak, but we'll retcon that when I get experience points later on.
Well, it's basically it's kind of interesting, even sort of in a linguistic sense, because River Speak is the most common in the Threshold because the guild has the most, because the guild is everywhere and that's what they use. They also have Guild Cant, which is their own secret language for the higher ups in that organization. I would imagine that because the islands of the West are so disparate, that Sea Tongue would probably be more common than River Speak out west.
Yeah.
And because there's so much Western Ocean for the guild to get to from, the Scavenger Lands, and that's why they use River Speak, is because they're headquartered in the Scavenger Lands, which are also known as the Confederacy of Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Oops.
but to answer the question, the book that you are looking at, what it is written in, it is written in Old Realm.
So we'll look at it and go, I can't read this. just
I
straight up.
pointed in the wrong direction. That way.
I'll give a passing glance, and
Still wrong.
I do recognize those calligraphy strokes. It's written in the ancient tongue of the old
So we'll
realms.
back up and do like the after you gesture at the books.
I'll parse them over, just look at the titles that's
Sure.
coming through.
So, the books that are on the tables seem to be some kind of it's personal notes, seemingly a diary of sorts. And they belong, and as you go through here, you find that it is the diary of it's the diary of Espada Azul.
Okay. Just
Sleep?
spell that exactly how it sounds.
What's that?
I said I'm just going to spell that exactly how it sounds.
I won't translate, but I know what that means.
Okay.
It blew something.
Sword.
Uh,
Espada is Spanish for sword.
Oh.
Do I know useful Spanish? Not necessarily, but I know sword Spanish.
I might have something I can do here. Just need to check real quick.
One of my dream weapons for an Exalted character is the God, I fell down a Forged in Fire rabbit hole on YouTube the other day, and they did there was one where they made a it's a Spanish switchblade, but it's the size of a short sword.
Yep.
wow.
Damn.
I can't remember what it's called. It had and they even said even because of the ratcheting sound that it made to sort of unfold the blade, that was enough of a threat to be like, okay, no, we're cool here, kind of thing.
Is it the Navaja?
That's what it is, the Navaja. Yep.
Yeah, those are pretty big.
Yep.
I'd like to try and use evidence discerning method.
Evidence discerning method. What does that do?
By sorting through possessions, physical evidence, and so on left by a particular person, the Exalt may construct a psychological profile of the character who left the evidence. This charm allows the lawgiver to profile a character who's not even present at a difficulty based on the dissonance of the scene. If the character has left little or misleading evidence himself behind, the difficulty is raised. However, the extra successes on the Exalt's perception and investigation roll allow her to disregard inconsistent evidence at a rate of 1 success per erroneous, unless eliminated. You can continue to use the charm until you have the clearest picture possible, ignoring willpower costs on additional uses. However, this requires material for her to continue to sort through. Once her investigation is completed, the storyteller informs the player of the Exalt success after she's actively profiled the character. She'll then automatically notice any and all characters who meet that profile or scenes of events which fit that character profile through use of Watchman's Infallible Eye. So if we encounter things about this person in the future, or that may have that profile that I'm now building on them, I will know that they are there or in the area.
Okay.
It is 2 motes, 1 willpower.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Go ahead
All right.
and give me, perception and investigation.
All right. And I am going to use my use of divine induction technique to once per scene get a free full investigation excellency.
Oh,
So
very
I'm getting
nice.
20 dice on this one.
What?
Motherfucker!
Welcome to
Um,
Exalted.
Yep.
So hang
Can you
on,
stare
because
up?
I gotta at least try and earn a stunt. So we're gonna.
I
see
love
what
how
we can do.
I love how half of the players basically just had that Jaws moment of like, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Gonna need more dice.
Yeah. So
Which is why
as-
I say anytime playing Exalted, there is no shame in using a digital dice roller. Okay.
Cobalt goes, takes out the journals, looking through them. They are watching the flow of the brushstrokes, looking for individual curls and tells of does it come from a place of anguish, of fear. Smelling the paper itself, did the finery of what they have matter? Clearly it's a lavish environment, the accoutrements on the table. A person who was studious and rigorous, or was this a Spartan lifestyle or one of complete opulence? As they take in the surroundings of this desk, this library, and the individual who lived and spent a great deal of time here, feeling their essence coalesce about them, as because this will cause it to happen, because no, it actually won't. Never mind. You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna have my anima or my cast mark go off as the brilliant blue and gold half filled in circle fills, casting the light of the unconquered sun across this, perhaps even hidden writings that are illuminated only in sunlight, appearing messages that were left behind, nuances that they even wanted to keep from themselves, because a person like this may have had hidden codes.
Okay. All right, hold on. Where's Okay, where is? There we go. Okay. Okay. So, yep, go ahead and take 2 extra dice on the roll for the description.
Oh, thank you. All right.
22 dice.
Yes.
For reference, though, investigation is also my supernal ability.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
wow.
that's
It's what I'm built
I
to
kind
do.
of I kind of figured.
All right, here we go. This is, okay, guys.
I can't believe you have 20 d10.
Well, to be
Mention
fair,
that they make dice.
yeah, they make
Oh,
dice. Which, by the way,
All right.
if you
so,
need dice, you should go check out Modern Artifice and order dice from them.
You
I
should
don't know if the
do it.
background's gonna do it because of the filter. Damn it.
That is okay.
We have though 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successes.
10 successes. All right.
Yep,
Well,
and just
you
double
can-
checking that none of them are 10s. None of them are 10s.
Okay. Well, you could damn near write this woman's biography. Espada Azul Espada Azul was a lawgiver from the first age.
All right.
She was solar exalted. Going through her notes and her how she dealt from day to day, she seems to be she seems to be a merchant of sorts. She refers to herself a few times as a Quicksilver Falcon, which is one of the sobriquets of the Eclipse cast.
Okay.
But she was And as a merchant of her standing, she was able to live a very lavish lifestyle. Big partier, you know. She seemed to run in various social circles that had her able to get some hard to find items, particularly from places that a lot of mortal merchants might be too timid to go to. Basically, she was using the supernatural diplomatic immunity that her caste afforded her to trade with places like the Wild and Malpheus and places generally beyond the scope of creation. It seems she talks very frequently about her demon servants that she has. Seem to keep a fairly solid retinue of them. But there is you're able to sort of, with 10 successes, you are able to sort of read between the lines. Excuse me. And basically you are able to suss out that she is what was known during the First Age, and still to this day, known as an Akuma. Basically, she was a solar exalted that had made deals with demons.
Okay.
For power. Some of her diary, it seems as though that her attitude towards this fluctuated from day to day. Some of her entries say that she was happy to have done it, and just there were levels that Sol Invictus by himself was not going to be able to get her to. But there are other times that she's worried that she's sold part of her soul, and if what she got in return was actually worth it. You get the feeling that, like, as you look at the date, when you look at the dates of her diary, the last few entries mention a joy over the success of being able to find a particular vintage of from before the Divine Revolution of wine, so that she can bring it to a particularly lavish calibration festival. Upon reading this and noting that there are no further diary entries, despite there being numerous pages left, that she probably died during the usurpation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to glean about this woman?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Let's see here. Just seeing if any of my charms are relevant on any of that, just in case, because you never know. I can't honestly say so. That's pretty thorough.
Okay.
Like,
Radiant Star has a thought.
Please share with the class.
Predicated on the fact that Cobalt shares all this.
oh yeah.
And you share the thing with the...
Not to re-expose everything to you, unless you prefer it that way, Will. I know everyone's different.
You can, yeah, no, you can. If Cobalt shared everything I said, then you heard everything I said.
And you said everything about, like, the demons in the swirls of the Invictus thing, right?
Yes. And as they are talking about that and the Akuma, the demons, you all can see, like, a very strong, like, angry twitch coming off of Cobalt as these things are mentioned.
Radiant has the thought of... So, in the mezzanine, there is a picture of Solar Invictus being, well, unbeknownst to him, kind of taken over. And then there is a troubling journal entry of this woman who most likely died during the usurpation. So that is two different things we have seen so far in insert game time here. The past time that we have been here regarding the usurpation. One of Solar Invictus himself, and the next of a Solar Exalt being killed, even though she was playing both sides. So, why are 3 Solars and 1 Lunar here against our will in this building, where there's now 2 things from the first age about usurpation? If there's another thing that we see that is about all the terrible thing that happened, it's like a maze of our past trauma in a way. Like, who is putting us here just to remind us that we were all killed in the past? Why would someone do that?
Because not all of us were just.
I mean, yes, but it's a weird... And that you see them, like, drift off and, like, think of, like, what is the strategic thing, almost? Like, if they had a beard, they'd be petting it. Of, like, what is the... They're, like, looking into the middle distance of why would you... Like, what is this... Like, why are we being psyched out like this, in a way of, like... And, like, I don't know, like, Will, is there something that Radiant could think of what, like, in past battles they've been in, or, like, keeping PO, like, of like, battles they've heard of, like, POWs or something like that, of, like, why would you psych someone else like that? Or is this just pure toying with people for no reason?
Give me intelligence war.
Okay. Five plus 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ace.
Oh, and if it's a specialty, do you get nitro die or something?
Yes, you do. What specialty are you using?
Well, my war is good. Oh no, so I'm not specifically. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Still learning.
Yeah, no, it's
That one was okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. You get the feeling that this is not necessarily... This isn't really put here to try to psych you guys out. This is not... honestly, this is just history. This is
Okay.
This is not direct. This is not directed specifically at anyone here. Especially, like, the thing that really drives that home is the fact that Espada Azul was Eclipse cast, and none of you are Eclipses.
Okay.
So, this is basically the Manse as it was left, and as whoever left it, you know.
So it's more the fact of this happened to be a Manse that was made by Solars, so we're gonna see a lot of evidence of Solar's downfall just because it was in the wrong place, right time, sort of
Right.
thing. Okay. Sucks, but okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find a few other. If you're continuing to look through her notes, you can find some ledgers. And that's one thing that Angel Wing points out. If any of this stuff sparks past life memories, that could be a different story. But we will burn that bridge when we're standing on it.
Awful.
You can find some ledgers of, stuff that she traded in, goods, receipts, that usual thing. And also her library is full of what you would imagine a wealthy solar merchant would have. Plenty in here on, on theories of economics, but there's also, a few shelves worth of just, fun history books and, some epics, some poems, some plays. Very well-to-do socialite kind of person, as well as having a shrewd mind for economics.
I have to ask, just because I'm a sorcerer, and it mentions her having demon servants, are there any sorcerious tomes in her library?
I'll roll for it. Give me perception and investigation.
All right.
Yeah.
And then... Right. And so I'm going to use the second passive one, Miraculous Stunning Insight, to get double 8s. So,
Okay.
on an investigation check, once per scene, I can enhance an investigation roll to get double 8s.
All right.
All right. That is 2. Damn.
2 successes. That's it.
Yeah, and they don't
Was-
have the willpower rerolls, do they?
Not rerolls. No, willpower adds automatic success.
Interesting.
Screw it. I'll spend one.
Spend 1 willpower for the auto success. All right.
Yep. I mean, this is if you're first stage Manse, like you gotta try,
Oh,
right?
yeah. So 3 successes total then. You managed to find one. You managed to find a tome, a treatise, as it's called. The treatise of the brass chorus.
Coils?
Chorus.
Oh,
Chorus.
Okay.
You recognize it by reputation. It's not not the most potent text ever written, but it is there will be some valuable sorceress information in there.
Okay.
So, Angelwick, I know you know none of this treatise because, to paraphrase the TikTok sound, I made it the fuck up. All right, fair enough, Bard. Not much else to be found in this room. If you leave this room, you're gonna leave this room then? Keep trying some of the other spots. So,
I mean,
as you leave the room, dead end here. But as you leave the room, the next door over, you hear a skittering coming from the other side of the door. Does anyone feel like investigating?
with a notched bow, yeah.
All right.
If it's a mantis shrimp, I'm not getting punched by it.
You open the door, and in front of you, you see a dining room. Long banquet table with a red silk runner down the center of it. Two chandeliers hang from the ceiling. Candles, all candles in there lit. And seated at the end of the table, radiant, is one of your women.
Oh.
And converging on her location, and she is seated at the table, wrapped in what looks like spider silk.
Oh no.
As there are 2 demon spiders approaching her. And we're going to call the session there for this week. Because we really don't have time to get into combat right now. But next week, I will get to take out the Red Binder of Doom. And we will dive headfirst into our first combat session of 3rd edition Exalted. So, let's do some experience points real quick. For starters, everybody take 5 regular experience points for showing up.
Woo!
Okay.
You are going to gain further Exalted experience. Thank you for the sub, I maybe Dan. You'll be you'll gain further Exalted experience based on how you performed this game. Not in terms of quality, but in terms of sort of sticking to how you have built your character. Where? Let me get to the page where there is... there we go. Character advancement. Here we go. Okay. So those come in 3 forms in my games. Rules is written, there's only 2. I add a 3rd. The first one is the expression bonus. Characters can gain 2 points of Exalted experience by fulfilling one of the following criteria per session. By expressing, supporting, or engaging a major or defining intimacy in such a way that it reveals something about the character, develops the character's personality, or provides a character moment that everyone at the table enjoys. Being significantly challenged, endangered, or harmed in the course of protecting or upholding a major or defining intimacy. Or being significantly impeded, endangered, or harmed by a flaw. So, did anyone in this session uphold a major or defining intimacy?
No, not really.
It's the first session. It's totally fine if you don't.
So with my... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I did immediately want to look for... I woke up and immediately wanted to find where my troop was, and I did put my troop as a major and an intimacy because it's kinship.
Major, okay, yeah, so yeah, that is absolutely, that will gain you 2 solar experience. Next, but did anyone else have any intimacy moments?
So I have a major hatred of creatures of darkness, and in realizing what I picked up on, was willing to reveal my solar nature in case I was fucked.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll give that to you. So yeah, 2 solar experience there as well. Next, we have the roll bonus. Characters can gain 2 points of solar experience or exalted experience by fulfilling one of the following criteria per session. You can either intentionally cede the spotlight of the scene's focus to another player's character in such a way that it makes that character shine in the role of their cast, or directly supporting them in a cool and dramatic expression of their cast function. The other ones are tied to your cast. Dawncast, Radiant. Did you defeat a powerful enemy, defend a vulnerable circle mate through skill of arms using martial prowess to directly advance a major or defining principle, or using martial prowess to directly protect a major or defining tie? Basically, did you kick butt?
Not yet.
Not a lot of butt to kick this session. That's totally okay. We'll get there. Next session, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
I'm
like
getting my girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Twilight Cast, Cobalt. Did you learn lost lore of the First Age or similarly valuable knowledge? Learn something that helps advance protect a major or defining intimacy? Discover a supernatural being's mystic secrets, such as a ghost's lingering passions, the obsession that drives a demon's nature, or an ancient oath that still binds one of the fair folk? Solve a significant problem or crisis through the application of knowledge or through education, or create a lasting and meaningful work of mystical power in the world, such as forging a sorceress working or artifact, or binding a demon to protect a valley until the end of the age. You did the smart guy thing.
I'm like the profiling and finding out about an eclipse turned Akuma who had a whole bunch of stuff from the First Age.
Absolutely. So you get 2 solar experience for that. Sova, our Nightcast. Did you remove a major impediment to the character's characters or circle's goals through assassination, blackmail, or other underhanded means? Steal something that directly furthers the character's or circle's goals? Gain a significant advantage over a dangerous enemy through infiltration or stealth, or upheld or protected a major defining principle through criminal means, larcenous association, robbery, poisoning, and so forth.
They unlocked the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would have been a huge
picked the door.
impediment.
Yeah, you picked the lock. That almost got you guys into trouble.
I mean, that's an advancement in some way. If
Yeah.
you the story along.
I'll give that to you. I will give that to you. I'll do solar experience for that.
The best lessons are painful.
And give me 2 seconds to get the Lunar's
Oh.
book open.
I'm already on it if you want me to read it.
Please do.
Yep. Changing moon, inflicting a significant setback or defeat on an adversary by influencing him or those around him, exploiting a cultural tradition or legal system to support a major or defining intimacy, advancing her or her circle's goals by fundamentally changing or teaching a significant lesson to a culture, accomplishing a major character or story goal by solving a problem she created. Not even close. There was nothing of the sort to do.
Okay. All right, so that's no lunar experience for you then. So those are the
That is
two.
okay.
Those are the two that are rules as written. I introduce a third one. This is one that I have. This was one that was taught to me by the women that taught me how to play Exalted, and it is one that I carry on to just about every other RPG I run, and that is what I like to call learning curve. Basically, where do you, as a player, think this game is going? Where do you think the story is going? What do you think is happening behind the scenes? And if you say something that I like, I'm not going to tell you why you got the point, but I will give you a point. It could be that I think it's just batshit crazy and made me laugh, so take a point, or it could be accurate to the story that I have in mind. Or it could be any number of other factors. So, does anyone have any? Once again, it's the first session. There's still a lot of new information. We are uncovering more questions than we are uncovering answers right now. But
I'm gonna take a real big shot in the dark.
Okay.
I think we're dealing with okay, is there a difference between like Infernal, Exalted, and like are they the Infernals the Abyssals, or am I like mixing?
No, Infernals and Abyssals are two different things.
Okay. So I think we might be dealing with either a really powerful demon or like a sufficiently powerful Abyssal Exalted because of where we specifically are.
Okay.
Also the like vague, like underhanded threateningness at the unconquered sun. Like there is like all of this reads like somebody who has a grudge against Solar Exalted.
Okay.
So like I think that there's like some like shenanigans with like a demonic or abyssal big bad.
Okay.
I have a thought that relates to that, but does anyone else want to go before me?
I think you could go.
You're sure?
Cause yeah, I have like my brain is in two spots. So, yeah.
Mine builds a bit on what Scout said. I think that Espada Azul, during calibration, before or during the usurpation, ended up making a bargain that she couldn't uphold, or that ended up forfeiting her Manse to the Abyss. I don't know why we're here, or what was interesting about us that got us all pulled into it, but I do think that there is something that needs to be recharged with the appropriate amount of essence, and that we are the living batteries in this rat trap.
Interesting.
I think that I'm kind of thinking through my character's eyes a little bit, but it isn't just exposing us to the threat of the like, oh, you guys are Solars, look what happened to Solars last time. It's partially that, but I think there's a second layer of it where it's you guys are Solars and a Lunar, but you guys are Exalted, look what happened to Exalted last time. But I think it's more like someone's trying to show us like the truth of I'm kind of almost thinking of like, I don't know how many of you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, but like when everything when they're at the air temples and things get pulled away and everyone sees that the Fire Nation was there, and like because the Fire Nation has this secret history and stuff that no one talks about anymore. And I feel like it's sort of like that, where it's like, we all know the history, but do we? And like, there's like this secret stuff of like, oh, hey, you know what happened to Exalted last time, or do you? And now someone's showing us, so that, I don't know, some impending threat or something.
Okay.
The
I
threat
don't
under
think-
the threat.
Oh, sorry. Thought you were done. Apologize.
Sorry. I said the threat under the threat.
Okay.
I don't think we're in the Abyss.
Okay.
I think we're in Malpheus. I think that we were brought here specifically because this is most likely a first age solar Manse, and something drew us here like a beacon for help. And we all ended up coalescing here because it's a central point that was the safest with our essence and our shards, that it was a safe spot to land. And there's someone who needs us.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Scout and Giuseppe, take a point.
Okay.
All right.
So, with that, bringing our first session of Killing in the Name to a close. Let's do some quick outros. You can let everybody at home know where they can find you. We'll do the same order that we did with the intros, starting with Scout.
What's up? I'm Scout, also known as Neon Saline. That's neon like the light, sailing like the drip, just like the last time. You can find me everywhere on the internet under that name. I draw, I stream, I do a whole bunch of things, including have a GoFundMe. So please check out my link tree. And yeah, that's it.
All right, and Dylan.
I am Dylan Baird, also Bardic Geek on almost all platforms. Mostly you can find me on TikTok or Blue Sky, and I'm currently working on a couple of side projects in the tabletop space, but most of that's just refining things I've already written. And you'll find me here next week.
And Cerci.
Hi, I am Cerci. I do too many things. I am Astro Hollow on everything. I do cosplay and fiber art and a bunch of other things. So please check it out, and I will also see you here next week.
And Giuseppe.
Hi, I'm Giuseppe, Modern Artifice, everywhere on the internet. Yeah, again, great session. Dice, live plays, accessories, games, that sort of stuff. And I'll be here next week.
Awesome. And I am your storyteller, Radio Free Will. You can find me over on TikTok at Radio Free Will. You can find me on YouTube at Radio_Free Will. Also, if you enjoyed this game and you would like me to run a game for you, you can find me over at startplaying.games/GM/Radio Free Will. I've got a bunch of games up there right now. I still have plenty of seats available for Exalted, for Worldwide Wrestling, and I just posted a Masks: A New Generation game. Head on over there, check it out. If there's still seats available, I would love to have you at my table. But we're going to go raid somebody. You can also find me on Tuesday nights at the place that we're raiding, actually. My good friend, the Game Mommy, Steve, who is currently hanging out playing Avowed. Yes, and Angelwick over in the chat right now is also in my Exalted game, so you can join him as well for that game. Yeah, so stick around and go say hi to Steve. Do the whole, superstition thing. Refresh your browser, say hi in chat. Spend a couple of channel points if you get him, and throw him a follow if you're not already doing that. But thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for checking out this game if you're watching on YouTube. And until next session, everybody, no gods, no masters, only moderators. Night, everybody. We have rated.
Woo!
Wee.